No More Sunday Phone Calls by Marie Myhill of Young 2594. Narrated by Janine Penfold. No more Sunday phone calls. No more special chats between mother and daughter sharing one another's weekly news. Then, you loved reminiscing of times gone by of your family and friends. Fun times growing up in a beautiful valley on a dairy farm with 7 siblings, going to a small school and local dances once you turned 18. Your mother was a keen gardener and a horse racing fan, which you also enjoyed. You loved a bet on the horses every Saturday and telling us about your wins. You were the last of your family, and by far the oldest, now 93 years of age and soon to be 94. Days were all the same, spent in bed, meals served, showers and toilet pans, chats to nurses and visitors. Your dear husband had passed peacefully in his sleep at 92, almost 93 years, a shock to us all. You thought you would go long before him. You missed his daily visits, fussing over you. You were always the boss, and he was happy to comply. You were his queen, married for 63 years, a long time together. When you turned 21, you went away to work in the city as a housemaid for a doctor and his family, who treated you as part of their family. One of your older sisters also worked in Sydney for a doctor's family. You would both meet up in the city on your day off to have lunch, enjoy a ferry ride, watch the newsreels and do some shopping. Each time you came home on holidays, a friend would arrive to visit you and your family. You courted together, and when you returned to Sydney, he went by train to propose. You always told us you couldn't forget him, and that you would have married him before if he'd asked you to. The wedding day was Easter Saturday, April 1954. You were 28 and he was 30. Your husband built a house on a large block of land 2 miles from town. Just a small house of 5 rooms and big verandas with a pan toilet down the back. 3 daughters arrived in 3.5 years, so you became a busy young mum. I have fond memories of you washing in the laundry, happily singing popular songs of the time, including The Stone Outside Dan Murphy's Door. Those days in our hearts we will cherish, contented although we were poor, and the songs that were sung in the days we were young on the stone outside Dan Murphy's door. On reflection, I think washing was your quiet time alone, something you enjoyed doing every day. You were so particular about how things should be washed and hung on the line, a strong wire propped up by 2 long posts. Wiping the line clean first, and then many pegs were used, just in case it got windy. As young children, we'd look at the pretty young lady in black and white photos, immaculately dressed in beautiful clothes, hat, shoes, jewellery and makeup. A special green and black dress always hung in your wardrobe. You were wearing this dress and pearls in a photo with your fiancé, him in a suit and tie, enjoying a meal out together before you got married. Although very much a homebody, you loved visits from family members and neighbours, setting the table with your best crockery, boiling the kettle and enjoying a good chat. Talking over the side fences to the next-door neighbours was a great way to pass the time and catch up on all the news. The telephone was an important way of communicating. Your sisters were close and always a great support to you. Beck's and Vincent's powders were your saviours. As children, we would ask why you were mixing the pink powder in a glass of water each morning, and the answer was always that you had a headache. They became an addiction. Mental health issues ran in your family. Lack of confidence often kept you at home, not wanting to go out to mix with other people. Home was your safe place. Your husband was your anchor, especially when you were not well. Daughters married and left home within a few short years. You enjoyed their regular visits, and especially when your 5 grandchildren arrived. You hadn't left the house for a long time. Your world had shrunk to just being at home with your husband. Friends had fallen away, but family visits always lifted your spirits. Mobility became limited. When your husband could no longer be your carer, you were terribly upset and terrified to go to a local nursing home. He was heartbroken to see you there, but visited every day without fail, sitting by your bedside, attending to your every need. The nurses and staff encouraged you to mix, and slowly you settled in. You got to see people you hadn't seen for years and enjoyed reminiscing of old times. We rang and visited regularly. It eventually became your home. 2 years later, your husband also went to live at the same nursing home. You ate meals together and shared most of the day with one another. Our regular Sunday phone calls became shorter as your strength weakened. The sad phone call came early one morning that you were very low and not expected to live. You passed away peacefully to be reunited with your husband once again. You were laid to rest together in the lawn cemetery of your hometown, where you had both lived for most of your life. I visit your graves and place flowers from my garden, especially blue ones for you, Mum, your favourite colour. Now, I still miss you, Mum. How I wish that we could chat again on the phone on Sundays as we always did, and to hear your voice again. The end.